Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, we give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Kwa, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel that rule and teach well. Shalom to all the Akim on the highways and byways, pushing His truth and sincerity. Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in the truth. I just wanted to get a few scriptures. It's going to be a quick one. Just about, we should always do things, staying, keep in order, being organized in this truth, and just us in general walking in this path that we're trying to take, being in order, being orderly and organized. So I just wanted to pull a few scriptures on that. So straight away I'm going to pull out 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. It says, let all things be done in decency and in order. So when it comes to these scriptures, as it states, let all things be done decently in order. So us in this world, in this wicked kingdom, we need to, even though this place is out of order, we need to keep our mind in order, having that sound mind, keeping us in order. So like it says, let all things be done in decency, and in order. So like so we can't be over here and over there with it. We need to stay, in that straight, looking straight, having that one-track mind, not going off to the left, not swerving off to the right, just staying on that straight and narrow, not trying to get involved with that Kemet rubbish, the Egyptology, whatever it may be, the Hinduism, Buddhism, even some brothers that are just following, the Old Testament, even though that's got, laws for us to follow, we also need to come in the entirety of these scriptures, all of the scriptures, because, roughly paraphrasing in the scriptures, it says, no one can get to the Father unless it's through Mashiach Yahweh Shai. So these scriptures right here is what's going to keep us, in order, if we're following the laws and we're having faith, and the Heavenly Father's dealing with us, and He's gonna, give us that order that we need to have. I'm gonna jump down to verse 33 of 1 Corinthians 14, and it says, for the Most High is not the author of confusion, but peace, as in the churches of all His saints. So the Most High, Yahweh Shai, He's not the author of confusion. The author of confusion is Esau Edom. He's the author of confusion. We understand the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, which is Esau Edom, that's running things right now. And he's just spreading nothing but confusion, because if you're coming into these scriptures ain't to confuse you. It's actually here to make you wise and give you understanding, but this place is to make you unwise and make you ununderstand, have no understanding and leave you confused. So Esau Edom, what does it say? He's estranged from the womb, speaking lies as soon as he's been born, roughly paraphrasing. So this place is the author of confusion. So like they tell you a little boy can be a girl. They tell you a little girl can be a boy. You can't say nothing about it. Man can be woman, woman can be man. Men can dress as women, women can dress as men. This is the confusion of this world. I don't say nothing about that in these scriptures, which are, these scriptures is the way for us to walk. These scriptures is not the author of confusion. Yahweh Shai is not the author of confusion. It's this place which confuses the minds of our children and the minds of our, even, men and women grown up, so-called grown up, because, to grow up is to become wise, and have understanding. So, I always say, you have a grown body, but your mind has not progressed, since a baby, so you're still moving like a child. And at some point, in this world, we have to grow up to be men and to be able to be leaders, so yeah, it's for the Most High is not the author of confusion but peace. So these scriptures is what's going to bring us peace. We understand in this place, it's not peaceful, but whoever endureth to the end, and Yahweh Ratazah of that number, we gonna get our peace. The Most High's words don't come back void. And He says, whoever overcometh, to him will He give power over the nations. So we're gonna have that power, and we're gonna have that spirit of peace, and our people ain't gonna be confused no more. Now, I went to the gym yesterday. I see women, I see a particular woman, in the gym, and she had like shoulders on top of shoulders on top of shoulders, man. This place is bugged out. Women were meant to be delicate, not there pumping iron, but you bugged out men. Some of you bugged out men like that stuff. This is why this place is all out of course, disorganized, disordered, unorderly, whatever the word may be. This is what this place is. But Yahweh Shai is not the author of that. That's the author of Satan, man, and his demonic energies that are on people. Some of you people don't realize you've got demons on you, man. I keep saying, there's energies about here, man, unseen. They're always about. You got women shouting at their you got children shouting at their parents, telling their parents what to do in this place, man. That's the confusion and how much it's out of order. You got kids shouting, controlling their household. This place is finished. You got schools teaching, when I went secondary school, that's what we call it, secondary school, whoever listening. We had a class called RE or RS, which is religious education and religious studies, and they would tell you, they would try and teach you every way of this world, every religion of this world. Hinduism, I remember having to try and learn Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, all this bugged out stuff. And you know what, that's why I remember why I was always I was always kicked out of the classroom, man, because my spirit weren't dealing with that. I lost attention. When your spirit just feels, this is some bullshit, this is some rubbish, but this is what they had to teach. It was me getting kicked out of the class, yeah, but in general, our children got to go and sit through that, learn this stuff in order to get your GCSEs, is what they call it. And if you, even if you say, oh no, I'm going to homeschool my child, I'm going to homeschool my child, you still got to learn the same curriculum that they're telling you to learn. And if you don't want to learn it, or you don't want to take your kids to school, then you've got to stand up before a judge, or you're going to be fined, or even worse, even worse, you're going to end up in jail doing some time, because you don't want to follow the system of these heathens. So this place is what's confusion. It's this place that's out of order. You get First Timothy chapter 3 and verse 5. Come on. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care? Read that again. This is 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 5, and it reads, for if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of the Most High Power? And a lot of a lot of you brothers and sisters, a lot of you men and women, you know, you don't even have charge over your house. There's no structure or order. You know, the order is the man is the head of the house. You know, he's the stronghold of that house. You know, so the man is the head of the house, and then the woman is meant to be getting order. You know, order from the man, and then the women, you know, make sure the kids are in order. You know, but you let these kids, you know, the men ain't teaching their women nothing, you know, and which leaves the kids out of order. So the kids are running wild, doing what they want, making up bare noise, and you can't even control it. You're like, oh, kids, get down. You know, kids, you know, you can't even take control. You don't know what's going on. Like, it's just, you know, just a house just full of a house full of folly, and a house just, you know, the house just going wild. You know, the house, you know, it's just doing what it wants. Bare mixed energies. Everyone's got their own energy going, like, you know, nothing's organized. You know, you try to tell your kids, you know, you try to tell your kids something, they're talking back to you. You know, we never used to talk. You know, if you got a good father, you don't talk back to your father. You can't talk back to the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, it's like, how dare you? You know, you can't question your father. You know, when you're young and a child, you know, you do what your father says. You know, sometimes you fathers are bugged out. Like I said, you haven't got sound mind, so you end up putting some mad energies on your children, telling them to do this and that, and it's not even righteous what you're doing. You know, and this is why these scriptures give us the right way to deal with our children. And if you go to Proverbs, Proverbs 22, I believe. Go to the book of Proverbs. 22. Can't. It says, this is Proverbs 22 and verse 15. It says, foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. So, you know, if you're not correcting a child and you ain't putting no order into the child, he's going to be foolish. You know, he's going to be running around doing some crazy stuff. You know, this is why it's for the man to put order in the household, you know, so not everyone's running around confused, doing whatever they want to do, you know, jumping all over your new furnitures or what, you know, whatever the case may be. If you have children, that is. It says, foolish. You know how you was as a child anyway, you know. And, you know, if no one's correcting you, then, you know, you're going to carry on doing what you're doing. You know, if no one's correcting you, you're going to carry on doing that. And this is like, I had brothers, and we used to ramp and push it to the limit. And if no one's correcting us, you know, it's normally when there's no one in the house, when we used to get up to the most mischief. But, you know, normally we'll get told, you know, and we get more than told. But it says, foolishness is abound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. You know, so normally, you know, your kids, but I'm not going to go into that, you know, but, you know, we used to use the rod of correction. I know when I was younger, you know, as a kid, you know, if like I said, if we ramp too much, we're trying to push it, then, you know, that slipper is definitely coming off my dad's right foot. You know, the slipper's coming off the foot, and then, you know, you're in trouble, man. You know, that's connecting somewhere. You know, that slipper's coming off and connecting somewhere. And as we got a bit older, then, you know, it was and I don't mean like, you know, shalom, I mean like, this is what, you know, we used to get the, you know, if we're doing too much. But you know what, you know, well, as you grow up and you look back, you realize, right, I did deserve a little thump, man. You know, fix up. And this is what the Heavenly Father's telling us to do, you know. Fix up, get in order, you know. Don't be all over the place. You know, don't be all over the place. And also, in your household, talking about your household, you know, your kids are bugged out. Normally, and your wife's bugged out. Normally, if you're bugged out, like, you're meant to be the head of the house. And if you acting bugged out, remember, there's energies you're bringing into your household. So you need to be careful what you're getting up to, man. This is why we need to stay in these scriptures. Okay, you need to be careful what you're getting up to, because you're bringing different kind of energies and demonic spirits into your household if you're acting bugged out, doing bugged out stuff. If you're out raving every weekend, you know, doing all your folly and that, and you're coming back bringing the same energy, then your kids are going to act bugged out. Your missus ain't going to be on the same accord as you. It's going to be all out of order. You know, it's going to be just, you know, just complete confusion in the household. If they're bugged out on drugs, you're doing drugs, you're passing the same spirits and same energies into your household, onto your children. And this is why you see, like, if there's an alcoholic, you normally pass it on, and one of their children become an alcoholic. You know, my pops, who was a Rasta, who still is a Rasta, you know, I'm not even gonna go into that, but you know, he was, you know, he smoked weed, you know, and I got two other brothers. We all, you know, from an early age, we were smoking weed, man. Obviously, none of us smoke weed anymore, but from an early age, we were smoking weed because my pops was smoking weed, my mum was smoking weed, and that energy, that same weed demon, that same demon that was telling you, yeah, you gotta smoke, you gotta smoke. That same demon that was dwelling in the household, you know, jumped on the children. So if you really love your children, because you know a lot of people say, you know, I love you, son, and then you're doing some bugged out stuff, you know, wondering why your daughter turns out to be a whore, you know, and you women are being whores, like, you know, seeing multiple men, bringing multiple men into the house. You wonder, you know, I've done everything for my daughter. I don't know why she's doing it. Because you bugged out, man. You put those demons, you know, same demons that you had on you, you've brought inside your house, and now it's on your damn kids. So if you love your kids, you know, you'll try to be organized in your head and have that sound mind. You know, we gotta have OCD in this truth, man. You gotta have OCD. I think that's what it's called, you know, where if someone, you know, when someone's got to be real organized, like if something's moved out of place a little bit, you know, they can notice and they put it back into place, you know, because they like order. You know, we gotta have order in this walk, you know. We gotta be in this truth. So yeah, just be careful what energies you bringing into your household, man, because you know there's spirits out here, man. You know, there's spirits out here. I'm gonna get the book of Luke, chapter 14. Okay. Luke 14. Luke 14 and verse 28, and it says, "For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? For which of you intend to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether have sufficient to finish it? Least haply after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him." So, you know, people gonna laugh at you if you're not being serious and you ain't organized. Then, you know, you kind of when it comes to these scriptures, you're kind of mocking the Most High if you're all over the place. But really and truly, you're not really doing any goodness to yourself. And I want to read that first bit. You know, who's going to build a tower and not count? You know, I'm just going to use this as an example. You know, if you're building a tower, you know, you can't just start do it. You know, you can't just start doing it. You know, if you don't just leave your house, start walking, and then decide where to go. You know, you decide where to go first. You know, you sit down, decide what you're doing, and then you go. You know, you know, organize what you got to do first, and then you do it. So, you know, for example, you know, if you are building a tower, you don't just start doing it, you know, and freestyle, because this is where you come along with problems and confusion. You know, you start getting confused, like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Damn, I got to start again, but I don't have, you know, you ain't got the time. And then you start bugging yourself out. What you do first is you sit down first and you think, okay, what materials do I need to build this tower? You know, how much materials am I going to need to build this tower? And then you think, how much are these materials going to cost? How long is it going to take me to build this tower? You know, and this is all, you know, talking about yourself as well, you know, counting the costs, you know, organizing yourself. What do I need to do? Let me split this up, because, you know, it needs to be organized. Otherwise it could lead to confusion. You know, you organize your day, you know, you got to make space for everything, and that takes organizing. So for example, on a day-to-day, you know, this is another example, a day-to-day basis, you got to go to work, whoever's working or whatnot, you know, you go to work, so you organize that, you know, you organize your work, but then you also got to be organized and make sure you got enough time, you know, to serve your Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Obviously throughout the day you send up praises. Well, I do, you know, you say Kal Halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, thank you, you know, for me even being able to do this. But you know, we go to work, then we leave time for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know, we leave time to read, we leave time to write, you know, we leave time for a wife if you've got a wife. You leave time for your children, you know. All of this is being organized, you know. When you sit down, you know, this you organize, you know, and then it starts to become a routine once you organize it. So, you know, you got work, then you go work for the Lord, you go out on the highways and byways and whatnot, prepare a video, whatever, just read, you know, watch some of the brothers, you know, but in, you know, order. You also got to see your children at the same time, you know. You got to fast, you got to send up prayers to the Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And all of this needs organization, because if you're trying to do, you can't do everything at once. And if you're trying to do a bit of this, then a bit of that, then a bit of this, then a bit of that, you know, this is how you can stress yourself out. And this is why a lot of people are stressed out. You can get depressed, and even worse, you just get bugged out from the whole situation. You might even drop out the truth because you think, I can't do this, you know, it's too much, I can't fit it all in. But you know, if you have that sound mind and you're organized, then you'll be able to fit it in if you have structure. But everything needs structure and a strong foundation, you know. So that's what we need to do. And what gives us a strong foundation is these scriptures, you know. Like it says that the Most High is not Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is not the author of confusion. You know, this place is confusing. So if we stay in these scriptures and just, you know, stay organized in this truth, and then your day-to-day life and walk will be a lot easier, you know, and you won't start getting bugged out and stressed out, you know, getting anxiety. And this is the problem. All our people have these problems, you know, because they're just all over the place, you know, just, you know, calm down, think about what you got to do first, and then follow through with it, you know, and then it starts to become a routine. I'm going to get the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 23. Come on, and it reads, the steps of a good man are ordered by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So the steps of a good man are ordered. There's that word ordered, you know, order, you know, so that, you know, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai likes order. So the steps of a good man are ordered by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So if you're being a good man, then you're following what's in the scriptures, you know, which was given to us, which will give us a sound mind, you know, which will lead us off this confusion that this place has fed to us since children, you know. And this is why I kind of rate these young brothers that in the truth, man, 16 years old, you know, 15, 16 years old, you know, 17, 18, you know, pushing this truth already, you know. That's a beautiful thing to see, you know. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, waking up these strong young brothers to the truth, you know, who are staying diligent in the truth. So it says the steps of a good man, and being a good man, you know, comes into, you know, because a lot of people say, I'm good, and then you know, you're bugged out on drugs and stuff, you know, just because you haven't harmed anyone, you know, don't mean you're necessarily doing good, you know. It says the steps of a good man are ordered by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So, you know, following the law, statutes, and commandments is what makes you a good man. Having order in these scriptures and in this truth is what makes you a good man. It says, and he delighteth in his way, you know. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is delighted in your way. If you're having order you know, and you're ordered by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And ain't that a beautiful thing, you know, for the Most High to delight in your works. So yeah, that weren't too long. Yeah, so let's have order in the household day to day. Try to stay orderly. You know, don't get carried away. Don't bug yourself out. Don't you know? Try not to stress. You know, obviously things will get thrown in our way, and it's not always going to be how you want it to be, because this is the Most High show. But you know, we need to stay have diligence in this truth, and what gives us a sound mind is having diligence in this truth. You know, but also balancing the other things out. You know, which takes you sitting down and thinking how to organize and have order in the structure of this walk in this wicked kingdom. So on that note, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Shalom Israel, Kwam Yashala.